Bitcoin, we start with 1 hour chart. Just we want to see how we can look for trade and how we can analyze the chart. Okay, first of all, if we refer to our analysis, we have been looking for buy from this correction. And since the price was within this move, I mentioned we can look for buy. And whoever get the trade mostly from this correction, they shouldn't, I mean, from this one, they should move their stop loss to break even. Because the way we see the prices continue is quite corrective, not as a sharp move. And whoever get the trade from here also, if they want, either they move their stop loss to break even, as we mentioned in my last analysis, or book some profit. Okay, because if we refer to what I analyzed in my last video, we mentioned we want to see the breakout of the previous top and even here. All right, the previous top already is broken. The only thing is the price, because we mentioned somewhere between 36 and 36,500. If you put our line here, as we can see exactly, this is the previous top which I'm referring to, and exactly the price tag, but it couldn't break. All right, we need to see the breakout of this one. That's why we put 36,700. We need to see the confirmation of this zone. Okay, this is what we need to be quite careful about that, and that's why whoever get the trade within this range, sorry, within this correction or here, they need to move their stop loss to break even. All right, that's why we mentioned we want to see the breakout of this zone. The first one was 36,700 and 38,500. By the way, we mentioned if we put our fib here, that whoever get the trade from this correction, the first target is 36,700 following by 38,500 as a short-term trade. Okay, anyway, right now this is what we get. We need to see the breakout of the previous top, which almost the price tag, but there was no continuation. This means somewhere within this range, somewhere between 36,500 and 36,700. We need to see the breakout of this zone. All right, and another things also we need to bear in mind that if we refer to the indicators, if we put this top in relative to the previous one, if we refer to the indicators, we see we getting the divergence. And that's well here. That's why we need to be quite careful. Either we get the deeper correction or we can expect the price to retest the previous low. We are not going for the price. We are not talking about the price to drop. We need to know about this possibility. At least if we're looking for the next trade or if he wants to keep the trade, we need to know about the bigger picture. Anyway, we start with higher time frame. We want to see what we have been looking for. If I move to daily chart, the only thing is right now we want to see whether we can consider this one as the last wave in relative to this and whether this is the start of the up move or not. That's why we have been looking for reversal since the price was at this low. We mentioned we prefer to see the reversal without breakout of the 28,500 because we mentioned if there is a breakout of 28,500, we can expect the price drop to 25K. But as we can see, we get the reversal up to now without breaking out of, I mean, without the price break out the 28,500. Anyway, if we move to forward chart, and the only thing is we have been, this is the way we have been looking. If you refer to all the lines, we have been looking for the internal flats. And right now, since if we refer to the indicators, if we don't consider about the previous shadow, this shadow, we can expect this one, we have a divergence. That's why we want to see whether this one can turn to a reversal or not. But still we need to be quite careful because since we don't see the confirmation for the breakout of the 36,500 somewhere around 37, we need to know in the bigger picture, we can expect this one turn to a correction relative to this. That's why if any trade we get for the buy, we need to move our stop loss to break even. And even from now, if you want to look for trade, we need to be quite careful. If we get any trade set up for buy, we need to see the continuation as a sharp move. And second things, we need to see the confirmation. For example, at least, I mean, the breakout of the 36,500 or 37K. All right. That's mean the best things if the price can break the previous top as a short move and we see the continuation. At that time, we can confirm this is the start of the up move. But in the bigger picture, we should know still we can expect this one turn to a flat. As long as the price continue as a corrective move, still we should be quite careful about this. All right, because sometimes the market showing us a bullish, but it's continuation as the corrective move, and suddenly we can expect the price either retest the price, retest the previous low, or we get the deeper correction relative to this for the bigger flat. The only thing is whoever wants to buy from now, as long as the price haven't get the confirmation for the continuation or the breakout of the previous stop, and since that we have a divergence based on a 1 hour chart, any trade for buy we will take it, but we need to be quite careful. We consider as a short, and we are not going to keep the trade if it's not moving in our direction. And if I move to 1 hour chart, maybe move these lines for 4 hour chart. We don't need it here at this moment. All right, just put it for 4 hour chart, and as well this one, because mostly we put these lines for the forward charts if you're looking at the flat. And second things, if we want to look for the next trade, the only thing is we can put this line here. Again, any lines we're putting is a corrective, is a indicative. We are not using the trade, the lines to look for trade. They are just helping us to read the charts. And we can expect, if we get any correction here, we do the breakout of this line similar to any of this, it can give us better confirmation for continuation. Then what I want to say that if we get a deeper correction here, we can look for buy. But if we get any trade setup, we need to see the breakout of the previous desktop as a short move, and we see the continuation. At that times, we move our stop loss and keep the trade. But if we get a trade and we see it's not moving as a short move and it starts to give us a continuation as a corrective move, we are not going to keep the trade. That's why we need to be quite careful. For example, if we get any sharp move flag, the only way is to put our entry above the top. And what we want to see the continuation as a sharp move. If the price tag and we see it's not moving, we are not going to keep the trade more than 2 hours. All right. Mostly we can expect this one to give us a correction as a flag, similar to what we have here. If this one turns to a more complex correction, then we look for the internal, we look for the trade setup internally. All right. Anyway, if we get the price consolidate here for another few hours, we get the flag, a small correction. If we get any trade setup, still we can look for buy, but we should know that any trade from here, if you want to look for buy, we need to see the breakout of the 36,500 as a sharp move. And we should know that where we're going to, if we get a correction here, where we're going to buy is quite dangerous. Simply the price can tag and draw, either reverse or it give us a deeper correction. That whether we should buy from here or not, it depends on the traders, whether they want to get the risk from here or not. All right. That's why they need to know how risky is that if we want to look for buy. Either if we get any trade setup, we just let it go. We see the continuation after the breakout of the previous top, then any flag from there, we take the trade. This one can give us a safer trade because at least we see the breakout, and then from there, if we get a trade, we take it. Okay. The only things I want to highlight, if we want to look for buy from here, the first things we should know how risky is that, because simply the price can give us one sharp and the price drop. That's why if we get the trade, if we see this within the first or maximum second hours, we don't see the continuation because we're looking for the continuation as what we get here. Similar to what we have in last analyze, the last trade, we have been looking for trade from here by having entry above the top. We have been looking for this kind of the move. After we get the sharp move, we move our stop loss in the break even, we get the correction and continuation. That's mean if you want to look for buy from here, we're looking similar to what we get here. Rather than that, we are not going to keep the trade more than 2 hours. That's why we should know how risky is that. And again, buying from here, I need to highlight is very risky. Either if the traders, they don't know how to manage it, then the best thing is they don't look for the trade from here. They see the breakout of the previous top, maybe we consider 36,700, then the next flag from there, we take the trade. Okay. Anyway, we just follow the chart. And if I see any update, I will share. The first things, again, I need to highlight whoever get the trade from this correction. And here, they should move their stop loss to break even. And we should quite be careful about the divergence. And in this case, we just follow the chart. If I see any update, I will share. Thanks.